Christine Lagarde, head of the European Central Bank, came out with a big announcement. That shouldn't have been a big surprise. I've been talking about for a long time that the digital euro, the CBDC, is advancing and it's now in the preparation phase. Now, I always like to mention that Christine Lagarde is a criminal, a convicted criminal, when she worked at the IMF, and now she's running the European Central Bank. But she's basically ripped the Band-Aid off, if you will, saying that enough talking, here it is. She released a 1-minute video in which she announced that a digital euro has officially entered what she calls, again, the preparation phase. Now, this is a central bank digital currency. I've talked about these ad nauseum. It's a digital money, which, I think somewhere about 80% of all transactions are done digitally anyway. I don't want this. I think it's the last piece the governments need to enact their authoritarian grip on us. But even knowing that, I still just don't use a lot of cash. I still use my debit cards, my credit cards, wire transfers, things like that. So we already have digital money. But a central bank digital currency is obviously so much more than I talk about all the time. It's not just digital money, it's programmable money. And because it's programmable, they can build rules into it to do certain things. So, for example, if they don't want you eating red meat, you've gone over your red meat allotment, no more money, you can't buy that anymore. You've gone over your carbon allowance, no more gas for your car, no more plane tickets for you, anything like that. So they could program it, different races, different sexes, different identities, all these different things they could do. It could be very scary, very authoritarian. Now, of course, Ms. Lagarde, she assures the European citizens that that's not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case. She assures people that they will still have full control over their money and cash, because cash will remain available to those who choose to still use it. For now, of course, right? This is all part of a tactic. It's this sort of the proverbial frog in the boiling pot of water, right? You have to turn the heat up slowly, otherwise the frog's going to jump out. If they just took all the cash off the street, put the CBDCs in effect, and put total control lockdown, people are going to riot in the streets. But if they do it slowly, and they slowly introduce it, and they incentivize you to use it, probably just like they did in China. If you download the app, you're going to get whatever, $500, $1,000 of free money. I'll probably do it. If they're going to give me $1,000 of free money, I'll probably take it as well. And then the cash is still available, but then maybe the big bills go out of circulation, and then there's not as many bank branches or ATMs available, and over a period of time, it starts to disappear. Like I said, it's a tactic being used to people that are apprehensive about these things. If you're apprehensive about feeling like a sheep, a piece of cattle being herded into a digital monetary panopticon, then you have to be slow walked in. Now, in this preparation phase, it should be viewed as like a light nudging. It's a light nudging towards the normalization phase, during which we'll probably see a bombardment of propaganda, if you will, letting us know everywhere that the digital euro's here. It's an improvement. It's faster. It's cheaper. It's easier. It's more inclusive. They're going to tell us that, right? This allows more people to use it because you don't have to be able to have access to a bank. Now you can just do it from your phone. So it's more inclusive. It's better for everybody. What they think is that people want a digital money. What they fail to realize is we do want a digital money, but we don't want theirs. We want our own. Now, not only do European citizens have nothing to worry about, she said, but they should be excited to usher in this innovative technology to reap the benefits of increased efficiencies. Now, it's interesting that she says that, because a quote I've used of hers for many times, or I've used many times, a couple years ago, she said that innovation is a threat to our financial stability. That's what she said. Innovation is a threat to our financial stability. Now, what she was saying, and now she's saying that innovation technology allows us to reap the benefits of increased efficiencies. So what's going on here? What she was saying is that innovation is a threat to our financial stability. Innovation such as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Innovation in the private market. Innovation that allows you to have your own money on your own terms. That's a threat to us because you leave our system to a new system. Now what she's saying is innovation technology allows us to reap the benefits. If you use our innovation, if you use our technology, then we get the increased benefits of efficiencies, so they become more efficient. They can surveil you. They can control you much more efficiently. That's what the difference is here. It's a threat if you leave and go to their a decentralized, non-controlled system. But if you stay within our system, it's much better, and it increases our efficiencies to surveil and control you. Now, it's not just over there in the ECB we have to worry about. In Canada, our neighbors in the north, good old Justin Trudeau, is now threatening provincial premiers that he will cut off healthcare funding unless they agree to a digital ID. Now, this digital ID system will allow government to control every aspect of your life, right? Again, it's a choke point. If you're not allowed to do these things, they can just shut your ID off. Now, they claim that you're going to get healthcare. Like, you can't get access to any healthcare unless you have the digital ID. Financial system. Well, you can't have a bank account or online transactions if you don't have a digital ID. Farmers can't get in stores if they don't have the digital ID. You can't book travel. You can't book airline tickets or train tickets if you don't have the ID. You're starting to get the idea. Of course, they also want it on social media platforms. No more fake accounts. They don't want you having an anonymous account because if you say mean things against the government, what they would consider bad, disinformation, and they want to know who you are. Just like in China, in order to get on the internet, you have to do a facial scan. They want the same thing. They don't want anonymous accounts. Of course, telecommunications, no internet without digital ID, no phone without the digital ID. And it's not just Canada. It's happening all over the world. Bill Gates, he's at it again, of course. Bill Gates is now pushing digital IDs for newborns in Kenya, as critics warn of a surveillance risk. So, of course, it's Bill Gates, and of course, it's in Kenya. I feel bad for the people in Africa and India where Bill Gates always goes and does his experimental medications on them. We've seen countless examples of him sterilizing young girls and deaths and all types of things. It's horrific that he uses these types of people to push these agendas. But of course, there he is in Kenya now pushing this. According to the Kenyan Daily Post, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's role in assisting the Kenyan government in its development and rollout of a government-backed digital ID program. Series of closed-door meetings. Had to be closed doors because I bet even the people in Kenya are smart enough to know they don't want that. They're probably smart enough to know they don't want Bill and Melinda Gates in their country. But of course, it's all part of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and continuing his global push to support government-backed digital IDs. Now, why does Bill Gates want digital IDs so much? We could go into all types of conspiracy theories and how involved he is, but we could also just look at the obvious, such as his companies stand to benefit a lot from that. We could certainly look at that. We could look at the fact that Microsoft has a massive role to play into this. Now, we can see that in Kenya, they're talking about they want to use the digital ID also to track your education and your health insurance. They want to be able to use it on newborns. They say it's a biometric vaccination system for newborns that will replace birth certificates and help track children from birth to 5 years of age. It will be used to monitor and ensure all children receive their vaccines. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And of course, it's all through what the ID 2020 initiative is. Go look that up if you want. Sponsored, of course, by Gates through Gavi and Microsoft, of course. Right? So like I said, maybe he's got some conspiratorial takes we can take a look at, or we can just look at the obvious. They stand to make a bunch of money if they can get all these nations to, one, put in this digital ID system that, of course, his companies will power, and inject themselves with these mRNA vaccines that he also has the patents on as well. So we can see technology, it's coming to a head, and we're going to have to decide which side of the technology we want to be on.